Welcome back to my channel. I am just going to jump directly into the video. I'm going to be recreating a look I actually did for work over the weekend, and I had a lot of more compliments than normal, not like a ton, but you know, a lot of people very interested, very intrigued by the eye look that I did. I actually did it in the car while my husband was driving me to work. So I'm just going to recreate that look right here, right now in this video. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So obviously step one for longevity of the eye makeup or the eye look, we have to prime the eyelids. And I'm just going to do one eye and then the other eye I'll do off camera for the purpose of repurposing content. I already did my eyebrows. Just use a little brow pencil and brow pen. Nothing crazy. Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. The original formula. And I'm just using a good generous amount and making sure that it's all over the lid perfectly. And for the star of the show, it's actually going to be the mini Sultry palette. I actually have the large palette version laying around here somewhere, but this is the color story. Obviously you can tell I've already used it because I did that eye look over the weekend. I couldn't wait. I just wanted to use this palette. These are the kind of colors I've been really craving and I've always really been drawn to in general. To start this look, I'm actually going to start with this shade here. It is called Slate. It's a gray color. And I'm going to take it on a Sigma, not that one. Yes, that one. The E27 Detail Blending Brush. And I'm just going to coat the bristles, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to kind of stamp in where I want the color. So essentially what I had done is I had created a halo eye with a cat eye shape, which seemed to be very, very popular. Just the overall look was very, very popular. I don't know if like people in general are just catching on to the cool tone vibe and it's just a vibe for the season, or if people just genuinely liked the look. I don't know, or both. Could be both. You can like something and not want to wear it yourself, right? So this is kind of the start of the look. I would say this is perfect for all eye shapes. You just have to know how to play with your eye shape, and it works especially well with hooded eyes. I just think a halo eye is beautiful on hooded eyes. So I just have to make sure when I'm looking directly into the mirror that I'm putting the color slightly over where my eye disappears and I create that crease. And I don't use too many colors for this look. I think I used like 3 or 4 colors. It was nothing too insane, too intense. And I want to go no lower than my lower lash line. I want it to kind of connect, and I'll end up cleaning that edge up later. But I don't want a super blown out bottom. That's not what we're going for here. We just want a very lifted look on the eye. And specifically I chose this brush because I can blend and diffuse, and also I can get kind of a more flat, defined or detailed wing on the outer edge, as opposed to something that's more fluffy because the brush is on the flatter side, I would say. I'm already going to go into the next step, and we're going to take the shade Noir, which is the matte black shade. And I'm pretty sure this is the same matte black shade that she puts in most of her palettes. I love this shade. I've already hit pan on multiples of them in different palettes. And I'm going to take a Sigma flat definer and E15 brush, and I'm actually going to stamp out where I want my cat eye. And I think I want a little bit more angle than that, just a little bit more, yeah, more like that. And then I'm going to kind of create a V shape. Really, this was very simple. I did it in the car. So this isn't a complex look at all. And I just kind of like stamp into the outer corner. So I want to create depth, slowly buffer that inwards. We're going to create depth here and slowly buffer that inwards again. Do not, no, no, no. Senor. Oh my God. So I have my outer V here. Don't knock that over. Yeah. I know it's like not the best brush to use for this, but I don't like to use too many brushes if I don't have to, because then it means I don't have to clean as much later. So I kind of use the flat definer brush as a packing brush to pack on the black. Okay. And I want to leave this center space totally blank, totally open. Okay. Hey, leave the cap alone. And then same brush, same color. We're going to go on the inner corner, but this one, we're going to leave it more close to the crease of the eye. Because I don't want to like bring the black too high up on the inner corner of the eye. If that makes any sense. Oh my God, he's back. And we're not going to worry about fallout because in this specific look, I did the complexion last and it looked fine. It looked good. No complaints. Okay. So, senor, no. Okay. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Actually, I need to bring this in just a little bit closer. Yeah. So I want the channel directly above where the center of my eyelid is, which it is right now. I can see that when I look directly in the mirror. I'm not going to do any smoking on the bottom lash line. Senor, no. And we will end up cleaning this outer edge as well. So don't worry about that. But what we're going to do is take our detailed defining brush again, and we're going to go over that outer edge and blend the black and the gray color. So noir and slate. I said no. Stop. Lay down. All right. Like so. I don't know why he finds this so amusing. Okay. All right. So like that. And then on the inner corner, we're going to really go in and diffuse it. Like really, really go in. It wasn't as black that day. Like I made it seamless. Hopefully I can recreate it as it got, as exactly as it, can you leave that alone? Okay. So like that. It was like a very sultry, smoky, gray moment. Stop. Okay. And then just taking whatever's left over on the brush, really, and then just kind of blending it out. Like I said, super simple. What's time consuming, if you want to put it like that, is just making sure that there's no like hard lines and everything is blended out nicely. I'm just going to correct one thing that I'm kind of catching that I can see from a distance, but I can't see from afar. No, that I don't know what I'm trying to say. I couldn't tell in the close-up mirror if it was smoked out properly or not. Now I can tell. I just needed to blend it a little bit more. Lay down. Thank you. Yeah, that's the shape I was going for. I just needed a little bit more of something. So the next step is actually we're going to take the shade, oh God, Cyborg, which is this beautiful shimmery gray color, like gray taupe. And where did my packing brush go? I swear I grabbed a packing brush. I don't know where the packing brush is. I don't care. I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna use a large smudge brush. I don't care. Brushes have multiple purposes other than the one that they market to you. So I'm going to take Cyborg and I'm just going to pop that in the very center lid and then slowly buff that into both sides of where the black is. And I want to make sure we're going directly upwards. We're not going diagonal or inwards. I want a totally straight upwards halo moment. Okay. So if you have to like look down, look up, kind of look to the side just to make sure, do everything that you have to be able to make sure that you got that line going straight and upward. Shit, you scratch me and it hurts. And then I like slowly diffuse the pigments that way, inwards and outwards. I want the spotlight definitely on the center, directly down the center, and then kind of buffed to diffuse both ways. It makes the eye appear more rounded or open or whichever. And then the great thing is about this look is, say if you have hooded eyes, like I have a partial hood or like a half hood, I don't know what they call it, where if, oh my God, what's wrong with my brain? If I lift my eyelids, I have a lot of lid space. Now when I relax my face, all that lid space disappears and it folds in and around my eyeball. So all that color and that space looks like it doesn't exist actually, but I have it. So the cool thing with a halo eye on a hooded eyelid is you can still drag that up and it creates a beautiful illusion on a hooded eyelid. That's what I was trying to say, I think. I don't know. My brain is moving faster than my mouth can keep up with. So this is looking really, really good. The next step is inner corner. But what I'm going to do is do the other eye off camera. And then I'm going to come back, show you the inner corner, and go from there. So I've basically finished my complexion, and I really quick wanted to show you how I did the inner corners. So same palette. I didn't use any other palette. I'm going to actually go in and take the shade Pearl, which is this one right here. This very light pinky beige, beautiful color. And I'm going to pop that on my inner corner. So we're going to take this shade Pearl and put it on the inner corner of the eye. And I'm using a pencil brush, the Sigma E30 brush. Arguably one of my favorite brushes by Sigma. I use it for literally almost everything. I use it as a smudger brush. I use it to put in my highlights like this when I want very precise placement with very little diffusion, or where I want the product to diffuse very little, I should say. I'd like where I want a concentration, right? And with this one, I basically focused all the highlight at the very, very inner corner, and I pressed it, and then I very ever so lightly tapped it outwards. And that kind of created that kind of beaming inner corner that I think people were really drawn to without looking overdone. And I did a touch at the bottom, just like that. Yeah. And then I will just do the other side, and then I will show you the completed makeup look at the end. Okay. So my last step before I am totally complete with this look is actually this new mascara I just got from MAC. I've never really liked mascaras, I'm gonna be honest. I've especially never liked anything with fibers in it. But I had a friend of mine that had me try this mascara, and I was immediately changed. Like, my mind immediately changed. So now I'm more open to fiber lash mascaras. Never really been a fan before. Like, disgusting, revolting. The thought of little hairs on my eyeball, really gross. But there's something about this mascara that I really like. I'm gonna zoom you in. Wrong way. So you can see what I'm talking about. So for me, I like to like brush my lashes one direction and then another direction instead of doing a lot of wiggling. I feel like that gives me more control of the movements instead of wiggling. I feel like the sensation of like wiggling, it can get really messy really fast if you're not careful, and I am a supremely messy person. So this is how I tend to put on my mascara. And then I do like to use like the point of the brush to kind of get closer to the base of the lashes. I feel like that's way easier than, say, trying to use the bristles to get close to the lashes. Like this way, I feel like this is way easier because you can kind of like separate. You can like poke. Basically, you're poking. Like I'm poking or blotting, right? I guess blotting is a better term. I'm blotting the mascara. And then I can get really close, then wiggle. Wiggling is like my last step. I like to do all these other things before I wiggle. Sounds wrong. Sounds funny. But then I feel like I can really get my lashes coated from the base all the way to the tip when I do it that way, as opposed to the other way. And that's just one coat, guys. Only one coat. I had someone ask me if I was wearing fake eyelashes when I wore this the last time. And I love that question. I feel like with just 2 dips of the brush, I can just sit here and work around the product on the lashes, and I get them coated evenly. And I get beautiful results. And I could put more. I could put more if I wanted to. Just sounds like a lot of work, and I don't want to. And I don't think that the look necessarily requires that. Like, if I sit here and just kind of like push the lashes up, look at that. It's just 2 coats. I only dipped the brush twice into the product. So this is kind of like my new favorite, new holy grail mascara. Here's the finished look with both lashes, both mascara. Oh my god. With mascara on both eyes. Here's the finished look for the makeup in entirety. The funny thing is, I'm going to zoom you out a little bit. When I did this makeup for work, I literally did not... When I did this makeup for work, I did not wear any lipstick. I decided after the fact today that the look would have been better with lipstick. Lately, I just have been kind of lazy. But this was the lip combo that I wanted to wear with the look. Exactly my vibe for 2025. I'm going back to my gothic, kind of grungy, kind of post-punk vibe or roots or whatever you want to call it, my little semi mini scene kid, emo kid phase. Just kind of doing the makeup that I've been missing doing. Kind of darker, edgier, smokier. Yeah. I'm also missing color, so we'll see some color back on my channel again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, but help your girl out by subscribing to my channel, smash the notification bell so you don't miss an upload from me, like my video and leave a comment below of what you'd like to see next, your thoughts, opinions, etc. about the look, whatever you want. Ask me a question, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!